Great day, family. Hope all is well. Hope all is good. Hope everyone is being safe and staying healthy as much as possible. And today I want to talk about taking ownership for your life and taking responsibility for your life. I wasn't always a responsible person. I didn't always take ownership of my life. I always pointed the finger at other people, other things. I always blamed my circumstances instead of pointing the finger at myself and look at what I was doing wrong and what I could have done better. So in other words, I wasn't taking ownership of my life. I wasn't being responsible. And I got to tell you, the day or the moment I made that shift to take responsibility for my life, to take ownership for my life, things started to get better. And I'm here to tell you, the day you decide to take ownership for your life, the day you decide to take responsibility for your life will only get better, because now you're not pointing your finger at other people, right? You're not blaming other people for your shortcomings or for what you don't have or for what you're not experiencing or why your life is going this way or why it's not good or why it's not better, so on and so forth. Right? Once you start to take responsibility, once you start to take ownership, you are now coming from a position of power. Now people can't hold that up. They can't hold that over you. They can't be like, oh, every time I see him or every time I see her, she's blaming other people or she's talking about other people or she's saying why her situation is this way, so on and so forth. No. Because now you've taken your power back to take responsibility for your life, to take ownership for your life. I remember there was a time where I couldn't keep a place. I couldn't keep my own place to save my life. I couldn't. I probably had 3-4 different places at some point in my life, and for some reason I could not keep them. I think part of the reason was because I knew in the back of my mind that my parents will always welcome me back home. Thank God for my parents, by the way. And this has nothing to do with them in the sense of why I went back. I'm not putting that responsibility or that onus on them. But in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, if this doesn't work out, I can always go back home. If this doesn't work out, I know they will take me back in. If this doesn't work out, they got my back. And so unconsciously or consciously, I took advantage of that. I wasn't being responsible. I wasn't taking ownership of my life. I wasn't taking ownership of my actions or lack thereof. And so I couldn't keep a place to save my life. Had an apartment, lost it. Had another apartment, lost it. Got another one, lost it. Went back home. Right, that was the cycle that I was in. Right, because I wasn't ready to be responsible. I wasn't ready to take ownership of my life because mentally I wasn't there. But once I made up my mind that this is it, I even told my parents when I went back home, I like, you know what? This will be my last time coming back here. I remember looking my mom in the face and telling her, this will be my last time coming back home. I told her, I said, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I was working at UFIT at the time, 5-6 days a week, and I was doing security twice a week, working overnight. I was stacking up my bread, saving my money. And then my birthday rolled around and I decided to get my own place. And I can say now this is probably has been the longest time in my life where I've been able to stand on my own 2 feet and take care of myself. By the grace of God, of course. By the grace of God. By the grace of God, I've been able to stand on my own 2 feet. All because I stopped blaming other people. I stopped pointing the fingers. I stopped pointing the finger at other people. And I started to look at myself. I started to look within. I started to do the work on myself. I started to shift my mind mentally on who do I get to be, what do I got to do to have the life that I want to have. And so I'm telling you, if you want to live a better life, if you want to have better experiences, if you want to come or live in a position of power, then you have to take ownership and take responsibility for your life. That's it. And once you do, things will get better for you. All right, family. I hope you found this useful. And I hope this message can help you. All right. Hope you have a great day. Till next time. Peace. Love.